A little over a year ago, St. Lucie County voters approved a half-cent sales tax for better roads, more sidewalks, and cleaner rivers. Find out what projects have been completed next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to provide an update on the infrastructure sales tax projects that were completed thanks to the 2018 voter-approved sales tax. My guests today include St. Lucie County Commissioner Franny Hutchinson and Deputy County Administrator Mark Satterlee. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners. St. Lucie County offices will be closed Monday, January 20th in observance of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. The second annual Wildland Fire Expo will take place on Saturday, January 25th from noon to 5 p.m. at the George Lestrange Preserve located at 4911 Rawls Road in Fort Pierce. This fun-filled family event will feature food trucks, live fire and equipment demonstrations, and hands-on activities for all ages. The U.S. Census Bureau is currently recruiting thousands of workers for temporary jobs available nationwide in advance of the 2020 census, including residents from the Treasure Coast. If you're looking for temporary employment, check out the Census Bureau's website at 2020census.gov/jobs. And when you receive your census survey in March of this year, be sure to count every person living in your household, as local governments stand to lose up to $1,800 in federal funds for every person not counted. Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. We also hope you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at stlucieco.gov. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works. Tourism kicked off the new fiscal year on a positive note with a 6% increase over October 2019. Revenue for the 2018-19 fiscal year was on par with previous years, generating more than $4.1 million in bed tax revenue. Overall building activity for St. Lucie County increased by 14% in October compared to September, with 838 permits issued, while revenue for that same time decreased by 24%, generating roughly $214,000, which was just below the yearly average. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County was $237,000, up 6.4% from last year, while condo values remained flat with the median price at roughly $161,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate dropped slightly in October to 3.6% compared to September's 3.7%. Statewide, the unemployment rate fell to 2.9%. There were 4,800 more jobs on the Treasure Coast compared to last year, with the largest gains in leisure and hospitality with 1,600, education and health services with 1,300, and construction with 900. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit the CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Franny Hutchinson. Commissioner, thank you for joining me.
How are you?
And Deputy County Administrator Mark Satterlee, thank you for joining me. I'd reach, but that's rude.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
And Commissioner, you wanted to kick off the new year and give the residents an update on the half-cent sales tax, which was approved in 2018, thanks to the voters, and then we finally got to work in 2019 because once it was approved, it took a while. We didn't start collecting that tax till January. Well, it started collecting in January, but we didn't receive our first payment, Mark, until what, March?
March.
So it takes a while for it to go to the state and then come back locally, but those projects have been up and running.
Yes, many of them have. Unfortunately, though, they may not be the pretty side of what you get to see. And then,
sure.
But that's not a bad thing. So today, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the process we've gone through. We've set the board up, the advisory board, made up of citizens of the county who've overseen it, and they've met, what, Mark, 4 times? Because I know you sit on there as the board's liaison.
Yeah, they've actually met 6 times.
6 times.
We met starting in February, right after right after the tax, went into effect. Because as you remember, in the lead up, before even the election in 2018, we started preparing for success so that if it did pass, as soon as January 1 ticked over, we would be ready to start doing projects. And then we also had the Citizens Advisory Committee set up, and we actually did in January, we went out and started paving right away. And we front-loaded some of that money, but we started right away. And so the committee met in February, March, April, May, and then in August.
And they'll be bringing forward a year review, if I'm not mistaken, to the board and to the public at that time.
They will be bringing forward their first annual report. Eric's team is just polishing that up, and that will be presented to the Board of County Commissioners, I think on the 17th. So the committee will be there, and they will be there to talk about, what they've been engaged in. And I think that they're happy to say that, the reason we set up that committee was so that we would make sure we did what we said we were going to do, and I think they're comfortable in saying that.
And some of the projects, like I said, they're not always the pretties that we always want to see out there, but they're mandated and they're much needed, and you can't really move into the nicer things till you get the basics done.
Sure.
Like culverts and road paving and or repaving of areas. So we've kind of spread it throughout the county on the county owned properties, because as you recall, the cities both have their own, and I know the city of Port St. Lucie, you actively see projects going on. In our case, we've been dealing with like the underground or getting through the permitting process, putting out the RFPs and going through that, so that this year I have a feeling as 2020 comes in that you're going to see a lot of these projects more on the visual side than what you would see prior.
Sure.
So.
And Margaret, and I know we talked about that even with the citizens, because I've been at some of those meetings too, with the Citizens Oversight Committee, and making sure the public is aware. I mean, we've got signage up, even on agenda items, it's marked, and
Yes.
even today's board meeting, a couple commissioners pointed out this is partially funded with the sales tax, and
Right.
again, to let the voters know that that money is being used on what we said it was going to be used.
Well, I think the first project, when we said the culverts and some of the repaving and some of the much needed areas, along with some stormwater projects that we were doing, is going to be the Prima Vista. That's already.
That's the big
and
one.
that was delayed a little bit. And Mark, do you want to go over why that was delayed? There was a purpose for that.
Sure.
Yeah, we were originally going to do the Prima Vista project, and that's a big mill and resurface project, but also a lot of retrofitting of ADA and drainage, and we'd have to do some bridge work. There's a number of things. That's about $3 million overall. But we were going to start that on April 1st. We had our permits and ready to go. But in conversations with the city of Port St. Lucie, they said, would you consider deferring that till after Crosstown Parkway is open, so we don't have two major roadways sort of under construction? And we said, sure.
Both east-west corridors,
right,
too.
major
Right.
corridors. And so we did. We deferred the start to October 1st, and so that project is now underway, and they're doing, again, underground work. They're repairing some drainage. They're taking up, the ADA corners and, and repairing those. And so,
And even the video surveillance and so forth,
Sure.
and all the fiber and everything like that is going in. So it's not the pretty stuff, but it's the necessary things for light signalization all the way down the road. All of that's coming into play.
And,
Yeah.
and we're doing some neighborhood drainage projects, like we're up in Harmony Heights.
Excuse
We're
me.
finishing up in Paradise Park. That's a long-term project, and we now finally have the money to finish that. So all of those old neighborhoods now have a working drainage system, and they don't flood. And we've done road paving in there, just upgrading those neighborhoods. Paving.
Lakewood Park, White City area, all of those were
Yep.
in there in this project they've started.
Yeah, and so we're in design in Lakewood Park, and we're in design in Melville Road, South White City. We're going to do a drainage project down there. But Prima Vista, the repaving is probably going to start sometime late in January or late this month. So people have been asking us to do that for a long time,
Right.
and the benefit of the sales tax is now that we have the funding, and we have a lot of catching up to do, and certainly that segment of Prima Vista from US 1 to Aroso is through River Park is our top priority in the first 3 years of the sales tax.
Right, and I understand that we're all still on key with what the first 3 years the board had implemented, what projects they were to be, so that the Citizens Oversight Committee can make sure everything's being kept on task and the projects are not going way out of cost and everything. And I think we've been pretty good about doing what we said we were going to do. And Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're right on time with starting the 2020 into the next 2 years.
Yes, and all of this information, the project lists and the 3-year plan, all on SLC Half Cent on our website. We keep that updated. All of the meetings, the meeting minutes, the presentations, all the documents, all the education materials, it's all up on that website, and so we continue to update it as our projects are
I know, and I
completed.
kind of had to kind of set it out there jokingly, as we're doing Prima Vista, since it is one of our first big ones, and again, most of it's been underground or really not what people would normally say is a road improvement, but it is. That maybe we should put big signs out there saying your Christmas present will be a little late. It's coming in January because it'll be completed. Just to keep everybody abreast of it.
And one of the things when we were doing the public education for the sales tax, we talked about the example of the environmental lands bond and how that was a $20 million bond, but then we matched it with state and federal grants, and we bought $76 or $78 million worth of lands. And even in the first year of this project, we're already starting to see some. I know one of the meetings we were at, especially with water quality projects and drainage projects, there's a lot of that state money that's available that allows us to match.
And some of those projects, that's what we're doing in order to keep the cost, that it's not all just local money, that we can tap into those grants and stuff and make that would be our match. Yeah. So that along with even the cities, we will be working on some of the projects. Delaware Avenue is a good one that's coming up, where we'll be working with the city of Fort Pierce.
So you find those dollars and
right.
get more bang for the buck.
Exactly.
We've just received $1 million for the Melville Road drainage project. So that'll probably, I think we have to spend that money within 2 years, so that may accelerate that project a little bit. But I think, even in the 3-year plan, we built in some flexibility, just knowing that, especially for those water quality projects, that dollars would be flowing in to help us out.
Yes.
And get back to, I know we kind of went over this point ad nauseum sometime, but why the sales tax was needed. A lot of the revenue to do these road projects comes from the gas tax, right. And gas taxes remain flat for the last 10 years.
Well, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's due to the efficiency of cars anymore and the move of a lot of people moving over to electric, where they're not using the hybrid ones. So the gas numbers have dropped, if you will, and those are state allegations that come through. It's not a percentage that we figure out, short of sharing it with the two cities on a special state formula. So there was a good way of the residents working with the board and the staff in finding how do we improve our roads. Unfortunately, during the recession time, as many of us know, and this is a repeat, we fell behind and put funds only on the priority items. So there was a lot of maintenance items that got pushed back. And this gave us an avenue, if you will, of making those improvements without actually moving into the general funds. So, like I said, the trick to it, though, I think the biggest hurdle was making sure with the oversight that came into play. So it gets reviewed every year, not just, several times with the advisory board, but then every year again with the board itself, especially as we go into budgets. Yeah. So, and I know, we can only forecast so much, and reality comes into play. And I think our funds on the sales tax have actually gone over what we had predicted. And that goes to the bottom, if you will, for the other projects that'll be coming in the event of the emergencies, like if there's a washout that wasn't on our list type of thing, that those funds can be used at, or as unfortunately the prices are going up, on a lot of these projects, even though we've been able to maintain a good one, that will help to offset that. So once again, we won't have to go to the general fund.
Yeah, and because it is a 10-year plan, so it's hard to budget now to say, well, this road's going to cost $3 million in 2 years, and that price could go up or down.
Even in the past year, the prices have already started going up, because I think everybody's starting to feel like the need to get their stuff done.
But Mark, as the commissioner said, we were the OMB staff was, I don't want to say lowball, but they budgeted conservative, thank you, on the revenue, and we were about $400,000 above what.
Yeah, I think we projected in the neighborhood of $5.6 million in the first
7 months, I think, because it was the time frame.
And I think we ended up a little over $6 million. So we have some extra funds that can go into future projects
And
or
that-
matching projects.
Right, and that's the important part too to remember, is that money is not, that extras does not go back into the general fund.
Sure.
It stays right there. It will be used for those projects, in others as we get into year 5 that may start coming into play, because we only planned out so far
Sure.
on the projects and to be reviewed yearly.
Yeah. And you mentioned fuel-efficient vehicles, and that was interesting because the local paper did a thing recently about charging stations around
Yes.
the Treasure Coast, in which government facilities had them, and the new tax collector building has them down there in Tradition. And then I saw 2 reporters kind of back and forth on Twitter debating of, well, who pays for that? Is the government paying for people to charge their cars? Although at that facility we use solar panels to generate the electricity, which I thought was kind of
Right.
neat.
And in in the board's informal meetings, there was a discussion amongst the board members, asking the staff to look into what is going to be the newest transportation needs for the future, so that we can start planning accordingly, whether it's from a land planning perspective. Is it really just as safe to have your bike lanes on the road, or should, in multi-path sidewalks, a section be
I like
put
that.
aside just for bike usage versus putting them right next to the traffic? Sometimes that's our better option when it comes to right-of-way. And there was a lot of things that staff will be bringing back to the board to present to them. The charging stations, where should they be located? Should we be charging for them? Because you can't always use solar in some places.
Sure.
And where do they need to be located? Separate lanes for the autonomous buses and so forth that we might be looking into in the future. Should those be separate lanes for the higher efficiency ones, as a bonus to them? But also there would be the fees if you go out to California and so forth. They have dedicated lanes, but they pay to go into. There's a toll that's set on those. Not saying I'm going there, but the board needs to know what those options are, so we can plan in the future.
And
Yeah.
if you go down to Miami on I-95, there's the pay lane.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in it a couple times by accident. I've gotten that bill through the mail. But it is interesting. We enter a new decade of 2020, and I know the staff is working on a new strategic plan for the board, which
Yes.
the board will be looking at coming up this year. So a lot of exciting things coming up as we move into the future.
Well, it's trying to keep up with the world as it changes and be prepared early enough, because you never know, do you require developments as they come in, especially commercial sites, to have those now in their planning part, that they have to have charging stations, and then that would be their option whether to charge or not. So there's a lot of questions out there that we're going to try to learn on. But going back to the infrastructure tax, those aren't what the funds are going to be used on at this time. Those
Sure.
they're going to be the priority of catch-up.
Yeah.
So I don't want to confuse people that,
Sure.
may think, oh, you're going to move
Use
that
this-
money over. No,
yeah.
that's not the intent whatsoever, but it's in
Cleaner
getting...
rivers, more
Yes.
sidewalks, better
There
roads.
you go.
That's what it's all for.
Yeah. And we're getting there. Mark, any other updates from staff as far as moving along on the public works side?
We're just starting to work on the next set
3
of
years.
years of coming up. We're about, halfway, not quite halfway through the first 3-year plan. We had about 27 projects, and all of those are, they're either completed, in design, about to go into construction. So, so hopefully by the time, the end of this year, going into next year, we'll be coming to the board with, excuse me, the next set of
Next
projects
2
that we want to
years.
get. But yeah, as we said in the education, we were just very far behind on our repaving schedule. So there's lots of catch up to do. And of
Yeah,
course,
and not only the design, a lot of those were ones, the staff would work very hard to put projects in shelf ready, if you will.
Sure.
But you can't totally finish out a design, so that's why it's called shelf. It has to sit on that shelf till the funding's there. Then they do the final part of the design and permitting that comes into play. So that's been what a lot of the projects have gone through that phase now and are ready to be turn dirt, if you will,
Yeah.
as 2020 comes in.
One of the things that just kind of dawned on me now, one of the things we should probably do a track on is how many jobs this sales tax has created.
Oh.
With these
thought.
different projects. I mean, I'm sure I know there's a state formula that, $3 million project usually hires this many employees. But
And in many in our cases, we try to stay with our local businesses.
We do have
whenever
local presence,
possible, and
yeah.
that's part of the RFPs and RFQs that go out.
Yeah.
That's the point driven.
And those repaving projects, those generally don't require permits.
Right.
So they're much easier to go, and they're much more visible. And so the city of Fort Pierce, the city of Port St. Lucie, for St. Lucie County, I think we've already done our repaving projects for
the year.
for 2019. But those are the real visible projects, and the bigger ones are just a little more time in the coming. But again, I think to the board's credit, the Board of County Commissioners, is to make this process as transparent as possible, insisting upon the Citizens Oversight Committee, and then having all of this material obviously is available online at SLC Half Cent, and anything that people would want from us or want to come in and talk about it or attend the meetings, are more than welcome to come to any of those meetings.
And the makeup of the board is pretty diverse too. The Citizens Oversight, I've sat
Yes,
in there,
it
and they're
is.
very engaged. I know we sat through.
And the part that I liked about it was I was surprised how many people volunteered to be on there. To the
Yeah.
point that there was over the number that we needed to have on there. And that was a good sign. I think that's one of the first boards, because every year we have to advertise.
Sure.
And people were actually calling some of the commissioners and asking ahead of time, can you keep me in mind for this board? Can you, because there was a true interest in making sure that we were going to do what we said we would do.
We just need that same interest now in the census, because I got to get
Yeah,
a
we do.
complete count committee together and get that for 2020. So that's the next big push. So, anything else we want to talk about before
No,
we
I
wrap
thank you
up?
for this opportunity. I hope we'll be able to come back in next year and at the end of the year and say, look how many more projects we've gotten done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for your time.
Great,
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Mark, thanks for sticking around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program related to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stluciegov. I'm your host, Eric Gill. For myself and the staff, thanks for watching.